y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Tea with V podcast. I'm your host, Miss Vicky P, and on this 7th episode titled Sex and Self-Control, we're about to get into, obviously, like the subject of sex, but we also gonna dig a little deeper into it. And I basically asked some questions on my Instagram story this past weekend. And if you don't follow me on my podcast page on Instagram, please go do that right now at the Tea with V podcast, so you don't miss out on these little questionnaires that I'm actually gonna start doing. But anyways, I basically wanted to get into people's perspectives and their different views on how sex is portrayed in the world nowadays. And most importantly, we're going to talk about how sex and self-control should really go hand in hand with each other. My personal opinion, I feel like that sex and self-control should go hand in hand. And so, like I said, I asked a few questions and I asked y'all to be honest and transparent. And honey, y'all came with the heat. Y'all was transparent. Y'all was open. Some of these questions, honey, I had to kind of reevaluate my life because I was like, hold on. But to get into this conversation, y'all, I have another guest on my episode today, the creator, y'all, the reason behind why my intro/outro music is just a whole vibe. Y'all, I got Emdhi on the show with me. Mike, say hey to the folks.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
So I really wanted a male's perspective on this topic. So, of course, I got Michael on here. And y'all, we just basically I'm going to give y'all the questions that I asked on my Instagram story. And I'm going to give y'all some of the answers. Like I told y'all, everything's going to be anonymous. But I'm going to let y'all know whether it was a male or a female, because I want y'all to kind of get into the mindsets, the different mindsets that we have and the similar mindsets. So first off, I want to ask you, do you feel like sex and self-control should go hand in hand?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I feel like sex and self-control go hand in hand because whether people like it or not, like emotions are like attached to sex. People can detach themselves as much as they want, but it's still gonna be a little there sometimes. But
yeah, I feel you. I definitely agree. I feel like this basically piggybacking off of what you just said. It's so many like different energies that go into it, and a lot of people don't think that a lot of people think that sex is just sex. They really don't think there's nothing else tied into it, so they just do anything with anybody. And I just feel like it's just on a whole deeper level. It's more to it than just that. But we just go ahead and get into this first question. So the first question I asked was, do you feel as if the world is overly sexualized? And so I'm going to have you answer that first before I get into these answers from the my Instagram story.
Well, yeah, I think I do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just looking around, it's like, because I guess what I remember, I think I replied this on your story too, like sex sells.
Yeah, somebody else actually said the same thing. Another guy said the same thing.
Okay, yeah. See, you can't like get away with it. Like, especially like every movie you watch now is just like endless sex everywhere. So you're fine.
Right. I definitely agree.
And money is like ruling. Like, you can't really do much without money. So like, at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about.
Exactly. And yeah, another guy said basically the same thing. He said sex sells. He said the quote, sex sells is a primary driver just to making money, pushing, promoting, like everything. And I had a female answer. She said definitely. She said it's hard to build genuine relationships nowadays because everyone is so sex driven. Do you agree with that?
Actually, yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I did too. I feel like when you start dating people, I feel like males are more sex driven than females. And I feel like they're a little bit more sexualized than females are, because obviously with females, I think so.
Are we though?
Okay, listen to this. As a woman, I'd be so paranoid about like getting pregnant and stuff like that. Guys, yes, you have to worry about getting someone pregnant, but you have more control. Us, we're having to just trust that you're going to be in control. So therefore, I feel like the male species, you guys are more just like more freely to just have sex. So that overly sexualized mentality y'all have, like, that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. But I mean, I feel like, I don't know, because everyone's just like their own individual. I definitely do see that though.
Yeah.
But some people more than others.
Yeah, I don't feel like all males are like that, but just a lot of the ones I come across, it's just sex. So you start dating, like they just want to have sex. And if you tell them like, oh, I want to wait to have sex, it's just like, oh, a shocker. And I'm just like, when did it become so normalized or unnormalized to like not want to have sex soon or, like often? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this day and age too, like definitely just with social media, like it's just making it, it's not really helping the situation.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
I don't know, like I can't even like scroll down my timeline without being like, these horny as hell. Like,
Exactly.
y'all gotta chill, bro. Like, some of y'all just gotta chill.
Exactly. But I do feel like with females as well, they know that sex sells. So that's why they post what they post of their bodies and, because they know that's what's going to sell. So it just all ties into the world being overly sexualized.
The thing that scares me about that though is I just feel like it's just like tying into people's like self-worth too. Like,
Yes.
and that's the problem. That's where it
Yeah.
becomes a problem for sure.
Some people feel like sex is the only thing that is going to attract a man to them. Like I have to promote sex for somebody to find me attractive or to like be interested in me,
Mm.
That's very much true. And there was actually a guy on here too. He said he agreed. He said, yes, I agree that the world is overly sexualized. And he actually said, I think sex is overrated. And that shocked me. Because I was like, what? A guy saying he thinks sex is overrated? I was like, okay then. But pretty much the equal amount of men and women that responded, they all agree, yes, they feel like the word is overly sexualized. I feel like can't nobody really disagree with that and be honest about disagreeing with that because it is what it is. So the second question that I asked was, do you believe in soul ties? If yes, I told them to explain. If not, I told them to explain. So I'm gonna read the questions first this time, and then I'm gonna answer, and I'm gonna have you answer.
Okay.
So I had a female say she doesn't believe in soul ties. She says that because she feels like it's only that people are tied to either an emotion or a feeling, and then once that feeling dims and you become distant with that person, if there's nothing else tying you to that person, like a kid or something like that, then there's no soul tie. She just feels like there's just emotions and energies that are being like pushed off. And then I had another female was the opposite. She said, yes, I do believe in soul ties because I personally have someone that I can't/won't get over. And they're always going to be a part of my life, whether that's like verbally in person or like texting or whatever. And she said, she basically just can't seem to escape it. For me, that's a soul tie. Like I believe in them personally. And so a couple of the guys said basically they feel like you're more so giving off energy than you are connecting with a soul tie. Another guy said energy is passed through intercourse. Therefore, you do have a piece of that person in you. So basically they're saying whoever you have sex with, they believe that you have some type of like soul tie with them.
Yeah, I heard that.
And then the last guy, not the last guy, but another guy, he said sex is so much deeper than physical pleasure. So yes, I do believe in soul ties.
Yeah.
Hey, child, what you think?
I agree with that last one for sure. It's more than physical pleasure because like, I don't know, like, cause I'm 26 now.
Mm-hmm.
So like just being like in this like little dating realm, I guess if that's what you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really can't even have sex with you. There's not like some kind of attraction there, like physical, you feel me?
Right. And I don't want to say that's shocking to me, but a lot of guys that I've had conversations with or just like have heard of saying, as long as she fine, I can hit it and quit it. So, it's definitely good that you have that mindset of like, it got to be something past the surface for me to like have that connection with you.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree. Like I believe in soul ties. I don't think that everybody you have sexual intercourse with, why am I saying sexual intercourse like I'm in sex ed? I don't think that everybody that you have sex with, you necessarily have a soul tie with. Because sometimes like you do have sex based off of just lust and it's not really anything like deeper tied into it. Sometimes it may just be, oh, I'm physically attracted to this person. You may have like some personality traits that you're attracted to, but I don't feel like you just have a soul tie with them just because you had sex with them. But I do feel like every person that you do have sex with, you're passing off different energies. And so it's just so much deeper than just having sex,
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can see how soul ties can be a thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I just really haven't had like that. Just had sex one time. I'm just like, oh damn, nah. I can't stop thinking about the shorty. Like, I don't know.
So do you personally feel like there's anybody that you've had sex with that you feel like you have a soul tie with?
What's the definition of like
definition.
a soul tie?
So basically, I feel like a soul tie is just it's like a type of connection or like a type of
It's just like a connection, like you just like
like that you just always have with that person. It's just something about them that you just like. I had this type of intimacy with them. It's like, dang, like they just kind of always gonna have a part of me.
yeah. I mean, I guess yeah, that's happened a couple times. But I mean, I guess it also matters like on journeys, like because people are like on their own like different paths. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, for me, I feel like it's really just all perspective.
So you feel like you can have a soul tie with a girl, but she may not feel like she has a soul tie with you.
Yeah, you feel me? Like you can be like liking a shorty, and then whole time she not even liking you, or you can be the other way. You feel me? You feeling the whole time he's like got hella other females on the side. So it's like
Yeah.
who's to say really what a soul tie is? But I mean, I see it though. I mean, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that because that's how it is sometimes, especially when you just not on the same page, especially this day and age, honey. Everybody they always got something on the side. So it's just like while a female may be, oh, I'm so in love with him, like, you know, I do a lot for him, da 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 da. He just over here like, oh, I don't feel like that. So while she feel like she got this soul tie, he like, you know, you do for me. That's why I got you. You do for me. That's it.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, yeah, I can see that.
So I definitely agree. Okay, so the third question was, which the main point of this whole episode, do you think you have self-control when it comes to whether or not you partake in sexual activities? And this question actually got the most responses. What is your like opinion on that? Do you feel like you have self-control when it comes to sexual activity?
I feel like now I for sure do.
Yeah, as you got older.
Yeah, as I got older, I feel like it's just like a learning type thing. You feel me? As you grow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I for sure do now. Like I said before, like if there's no like connection for real, like I ain't just gonna be just you feel me?
Yeah. Okay, I definitely agree with you. I agree, like, yeah, as I've gotten older, not to say I was just book wild, but as I've gotten older, I've realized, like, especially because I believe in soul ties and I believe that you're giving energy off, whether it's sex or just sexual activities, I just feel like you just can't do stuff with everybody you like or everybody that you feel like, oh, I want to talk to them or I'm dating. Like, you just can't really give yourself to just everybody. And I feel like you have that self-control, especially with this overly sexualized world. Everybody's all about sex. So, of course, your hormones racing, you with somebody, you chilling, the vibe is right. Like, are you going to have the self-control to say, like, yeah, I like this person, but I'm really not ready to give it up? Or I feel like if I give it, if it's going to change our relationship, or I don't want it to get, to move that fast.
That's probably the thing right there. Because, like, as soon as you have sex, like, yeah, it's going to change the relationship.
Exactly.
It can be for the good, for the better, but
exactly.
it's definitely going to change.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't see nothing wrong with sex, though. At the same time, like, I
You don't
really
see nothing wrong with it?
Because I mean, I have had casual sex. You feel me? I don't see it. It's like a mutual understanding. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it. I feel like, it's a very natural thing, but I just feel like we should be more particular with who we just,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like that's what I feel. Some people don't care. Some people just kind of, I need my needs met. I'm finna just, but everybody don't have the same mindset. But that's me personally. That's how I feel. So I had like the equal amount of females and males respond. One of the females said, yes, I know that I have self-control when it comes to whether or not I'm going to partake in sexual activities because I'm actually celibate and I prefer to stay that way. So I was like, okay, kudos to you, sis. I had one girl says, I'm married now, but I remember I had to, when she was dating back in the day, she felt like she had to have sex with the person she was dating and the media didn't help that. So therefore I guess you say like she wanted to have self-control, but she feel like she had to do it with them because it was what you were supposed to do. And that's honestly sad. Like, I don't ever want anybody to feel like they're pressured into having sex, but I definitely understand where she's coming from.
Yeah, I can understand where she's coming from too.
Mm-hmm. Because when you start dating or like even get into a relationship with people, they just feel obligated. Like, okay, we're in a relationship now. Like, okay, we're supposed to be having sex. Some people feel like that's an important part of the relationship, whether you're married or not.
Yeah, that's honestly, yeah, I see that with like even like grown couples. You feel me? Like old couples, like 50 and up, like they arguing about sex. Like,
Right. Because everybody has their own different perspectives about it. And like we said, because it's so overly sexualized, some people just have these strong opinions that like it has to be a part of the relationship or the relationship's not going to work, you know? And I don't think that's right. Whether you are married, I don't think that you have to have sex for a relationship to work. I feel like it helps, especially like having that type of intimacy with that person. Like, you know, when you're married or in a relationship, it's just different levels of intimacy that you want to have with somebody. People have sex to like, I want to be as close to you as I possibly can. Like I want to, you know. And so I had another female said yes and no. She feels like she does have self-control and also she doesn't. She said because she can say no to not having sex, but then at other times she feels like she gives in to sex thinking that she's going to get something from the guy later and she doesn't.
mm,
And I'm like,
that's giving gold digger vibes. I ain't gonna lie.
gold digger. She's not talking about physical stuff. She means like, oh, I thought it was gonna go a little deeper with the guy, but we had sex and it didn't.
Okay.
Look at you trying to
I
just throw her
mean,
under the bus.
I mean the way it sounded at first. Okay, I mean, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I understand that though, because sometimes guys really just want to talk to you for the sex. Once they hit it, they quit it.
Yeah, I mean, but that just goes back to everybody on their own journey. Like when you find I feel like that's what me personally in this like dating area because I'm single. I haven't
Yeah,
really had a girlfriend like in a minute. Like I mean, I mess around with females, but I'm not really like had no girlfriend.
yeah,
But I don't know. You just gotta take this one day at a time because you feel me. You can't rush nothing like that because I feel like honestly, like if I even thinking about getting serious with somebody, like I'm not trying to get married right now. Like I'm not in the mood to get married right now. I know like other people,
you're not in the
like
mood to get married.
I just know a lot of time with measure nothing against like all my married friends. Like I'm seeing a lot of people get married, and that's just beautiful. Once
Yes.
you find like your person, you feel me? That's beautiful. Like you can't just be like every little person you like, you think they the one. Like I don't know. When they come, it come though. So it's just like I'm not forcing nothing.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens.
Like when you start talking to a female, do you only talk to her because you feel like you could see yourself with her for the rest of your life, or you just like, oh, I'm just vibing with her, I'm gonna talk to her?
It's really just vibes. It's really just vibing because like I honestly I feel like some of these girls don't even want relationships. They just want to vibe too. You feel me? So yeah, I mean I'm just honestly just vibing. Just be vibing out to and but then I don't know. I feel like I don't know when I know.
Yeah. I just feel like sometimes people have different mindsets of, for instance, like I'm 25, you 26. Some people may have that perspective like of the glass being half empty where like I'm almost to 30, I'm getting old, like I ain't playing no games. Whoever I talk to, like it's gonna be somebody I see that I can be with. But also like we're really not that old. We've only been in the world for 20 some years, you know. Folks be dying at 100. We're not even halfway to 100. So it's like some people just like, I'm not even on that type of level. Like how you say, like I'm just vibing. You know, when it come, it come. And until then, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. Probably like the best way to go. And that just comes from experience too, because it's like I would like my perspective always be changing.
Yeah.
It's like every interaction I have with a female change my perspective in a way.
But you know what? That's good. That means you have an open mind.
For sure.
It's always good to have an open perspective because you date different people and you meet different people and you have all these different personalities that you talk to. Whatever the one perspective that you had with the last girl may not be the same with the next girl, and vice versa with females and males. I just feel like if I keep an open perspective, it keeps you, number one, from just kind of being stuck in one way. And I just feel like that just they don't benefit nobody.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Unnecessary stress for what?
Exactly. It's already stressful enough trying to date in this day and age. So I ain't trying to put no more stress on myself with that, honey. That's how I feel. So the male's answers to that question, if they feel like they have self-control, one guy said, yes. This had me so weak. He said, yes, I do have self-control, but sometimes I'm just like, F it. Which I feel like
Yeah.
people just like that. Sometimes they just like, I don't want to have self-control today. Like, I just kind of want to just do what I do. Not to say I'm not like that personally, but I know that obviously there's people out there like that. So
You feel me? And I'm not judging nobody. Like I said before,
Right.
I don't think sex is wrong. You feel me? Like, have fun out there. You feel me? Be safe.
Exactly. That's the thing. Just
For
be
real.
smart with your decisions. Just be safe, be smart with it. So another guy, these guys, they were showing up. So he said, definitely I have self-control. He said, I have plenty of girls that I could smash, but I'm faithful to my girl. He said, I may flirt with other girls, but I won't actually have sex with them.
Oh, see, that's a whole different. That's a whole different situation right there because he in a relationship. So it's like,
Right. Do you feel like that's having self-control if you have a girlfriend, but like you flirt with other people? He says, oh, I have self-control because I'm not going to have sex with him, but I flirt with him. So obviously flirting, that's not a,
that's what he calls self control.
I look, we ain't judging, I guess so. that's what he feel like he got self-control because he not having sex with him.
Whatever makes us happy.
Oh, I was like, okay, but you know what? I told everybody to be transparent, and they were, and I love it though, because I feel like his girlfriend, you never know, his girlfriend may not trip over it. She may not consider flirting cheating. She
Yeah.
may not, but I guess he's just like, I got self control. I ain't finna do nothing with him, so that's all that matter. I was just like, okay. But I had another guy say he has 80%, he has control. Somebody else said certain situations can be harder than others, but for the most part, yes, I have self-control. And I highly agree with that one. Because I feel like for me, I do have a lot of self-control when it comes to it. Just from experience and just kind of going through the years of not giving into it when my flesh was like, yeah, let's get it. You know, I was just like, you know what? I'm not even do that to myself. But sometimes you give into your flesh. You just like, you know what? I'm gonna just do what it do, and but if there's consequences after the fact, I'm gonna just kind of think about that once everything all done. But yeah, I feel like I have self-control to a certain extent.
Yeah.
If anybody gets tempted too much, you know, of course, you give into the temptation. But like you said, as we grew up, you have more self-control than I did, you know, when I was younger.
Yeah, it's from experience, but I mean, honestly, it's like life is short, man. Life is short, man. Like,
What? that's why.
that's fair.
That's why you keep saying you ain't got no problem with sex.
I mean, I don't, but it's not like I ain't trying to just make it like everybody just go out there.
Everybody just have sex with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because the topic is what self control, right? Definitely have self control.
Right. I feel like sex is a natural thing, but me personally, because of like, you know, spiritual beliefs, I feel like, let me say this. I don't want to say I think I should wait till marriage because obviously, like, I haven't and fallen short several times. But I feel like I like that mindset to say I'm going to wait till marriage. That's only for me to make sure that, like, I'm being particular with who I'm giving my body to. Because if I just say, like, oh, I'm just going to wait until I feel like he the one, you can feel like he the one with anybody. You can really be in tune in a relationship and feel like, oh, this is it. And you're like, okay, I'm ready to do it. But I just feel like for me, I have to set my limits a lot farther than what I really feel like I can do. But that helps me kind of like stay, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, it's definitely like a yin and yang to it. It's like, I definitely see why, like, because we all grew up hearing that. Because I grew up in the church, we grew up in the church. I'm sure a lot of people listening probably grew up.
Right.
Like, parents always say, wait till you married. But my parents didn't wait till they was married. But they tell me this, like, you tell me there's some
Right.
positive past that nobody on earth has ever like actually did. I mean, I'm sure there's probably people that have waited till marriage. I don't know them.
You say you know. I actually know a couple that waited till marriage. They got married at like 40.
They waited till 40.
They waited till they was 40 something to get married, and they both lost their virginity to each other.
Literally 40-year-old virgins. That's crazy.
Literally. But I'm like, you know what? If I could go back, knowing what I knew now, obviously, if I could go back, I would wait. Me personally. I would definitely wait just because I just feel like it was just a waste of time.
You would still be the same person with the same mindset if you didn't, though?
See, I don't know. It's just like, I think the way I'm thinking about it is some of the situations that I was in that I could have avoided and I didn't. It's like, I just wish I could just avoid it. It didn't really, I don't want to say it didn't really help me, but like it was more, but I just feel like it caused me more trauma than anything. So that's true though. Like, I don't think I would have as much self-control that I do, and I wouldn't have as much knowledge, but I don't know. Sometimes it's just like, man, I wish I could just reverse and just go back and just not do that. Like, wasn't worth it at all.
That post clarity.
Yes. I feel like when I have kids, I'm gonna be that parent. Wait till you married. But like I said, I'm gonna just have them set that expectation high. Not to say that like if they don't wait till marriage, I'm gonna be upset. I wouldn't be upset because obviously I didn't wait till marriage. But I just want them to just set just high standards for themselves. I don't want them to just say. I don't want them to just come into the world thinking that they can't wait until they're married. Because if you absolutely want to, you can. There's some people that done it, but very seldomly. But people do it. Because it's like we say, it's an intimacy. It's a different level of intimacy. You give out energies. You have soul ties. And it's like, who wants to have 50,000 soul ties in the world with folks? You know, like, you don't want to just do that with everybody. But I would tell them, like, try and wait as long as you can. That's what I'll say. Just wait as long as you can. Because once you do it, you do it. Ain't no turning back. And it just opens a whole nother realm to, like, sexual desires, you know?
Yeah.
So the next question, have you ever practiced celibacy?
Have I practiced celibacy? I'm trying to think. I might have.
You don't know?
I think I might have.
You probably did it on accident.
Yeah, probably on accident.
Like, I had no choice. I wasn't planning to. It just happened like that.
But, you know, it's actually so good.
Right. I'm so weak.
Honestly, celibacy, I think I actually did try one time in college, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. Honestly, I just didn't really see the point. Because, like, I mean, not that I didn't see the point. Like, I feel like the point of celibacy is to, like, focus on you, right? Like, to really just better yourself and just focus on being the best you, which I'm for sure with that.
Yeah. I feel like it's also, like, when you do start to date and get in a relationship with people, because, you know, sex, as we get older, it's become more sexualized. It's basically so you don't be blinded to who a person really is. I feel like that's the importance of celibacy. Number one, me, I wasn't trying to get pregnant at a young age. So that was like my scariest thing, because I've never wanted to get on birth control. So celibacy was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay celibate. This is my only way of being protected, is to just not do it. You know, and then, like you said, it's kind of like a journey of you being your best you, like finding out more about myself, what I like, what I don't like, what I'm into, being like more confident in yourself and not feeling like sex is going to be the only thing that attracts people to you. And then in a relationship, I feel like, or dating, I just feel like people get blinded when they do have sex prematurely and they ignore the red flags. That's just a common thing. And I know a lot of people can agree with that. So I personally have practiced celibacy, because I feel like sometimes, like, if I'm just, like, I'm not in a relationship now, I'm single, and I don't plan on, you know, just kind of giving myself to anybody, especially if we're not in a relationship, you know? So it's kind of like the celibacy thing is just inevitable. It's just a given. And on that mindset again of, I'm gonna wait as long as I can. That's just how I feel about it. Okay. He said, yes, me and my girl actually do a celibate challenge every month. So basically they go 2 weeks without sexual activities. So basically 2 weeks they do sex, not do sex, but, you know, have sex. The next break. 2 week break. So basically 2 weeks after a month.
I feel like that's cool. I feel like that's probably the only way relationships is going to last. Like, if you guys come up on some agreements, because like,
yeah. I feel like that's good though.
Got to be some teamwork going on.
Exactly. I feel like that's good though, because it gives them time to like really focus on like learning more the ways to be intimate with each other besides just sex.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like we have 2 weeks, and then he didn't say just sex. He said sexual activity, so that means anything. Everything. So it's just like, that's what's up. But yeah, I definitely applaud him for that, because I feel like more couples should do that, especially kind of keep them from getting too like over their heads with it. And there was actually somebody who responded to the it was one of those questions basically saying that they have self-control, but they use sex as a coping mechanism. And I feel like that kind of ties into them when he was talking about the whole celibacy break thing, whatever. Some couples use that, like they get mad at each other and just like, oh, we're gonna have makeup sex, instead of like really talking about what the problem is. It's just like, yeah, we're gonna have sex and just make it better.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just haven't been in a relationship so long. You feel me? Like, I don't even have like kind of the perspective from being in a relationship right now.
Yeah. But even from a dating standpoint, like if you're talking to somebody and like you said, you're having casual sex with them, like, would you ever think about, oh, let's take a break from it? Or you just like, nah, it's casual, so it ain't no ties to it.
Honestly, yeah. If it's casual, it ain't no ties to it. Like, we ain't girlfriend or boyfriend, but it's like, I don't know. I'm just really not the type to really press the issue like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but honestly, that probably came from experience because, like I said, growing, like, I don't know if you experienced this, but for me, it's the girls that I really don't really care about like that, they always hit my line, you feel me? But like the second I like kind of get interested in the female and I like kind of just express a little something, it's like, oh shit, she kind of, okay, now she backing off a little bit. It's like, damn, I just gotta be all the time to every girl, and I feel like that's like, I don't know, kind of making a lot of niggas be like that.
Maybe like they think that you're interested the way they're interested in you, and maybe they just don't care. Maybe they just like I'm hella interested in him, so I'm finna show. But maybe it's the vice versa. Basically, how you just said that you'll show interest in a girl, and then you feel like she kind of like back up. What if it's the same way from her like the other girl's perspective that's hitting you up that you say you're not that interested in?
That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. It's like a little yin and yang to it.
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy. It's just like, dang, I need the person that I'm interested in to actually be interested in me back so we can just, so I ain't out here playing games with folks. But yeah, I feel you on that though. So another a guy said on this answer, he said, I would practice celibacy depending on the person. I don't prefer waiting longer than a few months.
Waiting a few months?
A few months. Right. But I feel like some people's perspective on like what celibacy is different. They may feel like, I want to be celibate like him and his girlfriend do for 2 weeks. Some people may say that's not celibacy. That's just, you just not having sex for 2 weeks. But for them, they're like, that's being celibate. So some people have a different perspective or a different definition of what celibacy is. They just feel like if I'm not having sex, I'm celibate.
Maybe it's just, I guess, like, come back to self-control.
Yeah, that's true.
Just keeping that control. But I don't know, man. I feel like whatever makes people happy is, because at the end of the day, it's like, we here. We live in life, like nobody got really the answers. Like you just gotta take it one day at a time, you feel me?
Right. I had another guy answer say that he's been celibate for 14 months and counting. And from that to come from a guy, I was like, okay, kudos to you. I guess my little stereotypes about how I feel about guys being overly sexualized, maybe I just need to throw that out the window. Because some of these answers kind of like just shot me down. Like, girl, bye. Because 14 months, that's pretty good for a guy. He answered that he feels like sex is a great thing. On this last question, which was, what is your overall opinion on sex itself? He said, I believe sex is a great thing. So for him to say that, but to say that he's celibate, that's the self-control right there. Kudos to him. Snaps. I definitely feel like he has some self-control if he can love it and still say like, nah, but I ain't did it in who knows how long.
Yeah.
And then I had a female for this question say, she said, I love sex, but I feel like now it seems mandatory in a relationship, like it's always something that's wanted first. I agree.
I can definitely see that because I'm even probably guilty of that. Like when I was in a relationship, I see where they're going with that because like, I don't know, I feel like everyone could be just horny all the time when they found like their little person, they're just always around them. Like you won't get horny sometimes, but it's like, you can't just be too horny. Like,
right. That's where that self-control comes in.
Yeah, you feel me? You gotta respect at the end of the day, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so that was pretty much all the questions that I asked, honey. When I say they came with it, I wasn't gonna give all the answers because it was actually a lot more than I expected. And I think I'm gonna just keep doing these for like whatever topics I'm gonna do because I really like getting y'all's inputs and just seeing what y'all think about the question. Because everybody's opinions are obviously completely different, and y'all shocked me on a couple of these answers. But yes, I definitely feel like the overall moral of the story is yes, the world is overly sexualized, and I feel like people need to have self-control when it comes to having sex. And I feel like it just makes it easier on you, whoever you're having sex with, whoever, whatever type of sexual encounter that you partake in. I just feel like it's always good to have some type of self-control. It just saves you heartache, headache, STDs, pregnancies, like all of that, okay?
Yes, yeah. No, but like you said before, Deborah, hold on, let me ask you a question. Do you think that males are more sexualized than females?
Yes, very much so. Well, I feel like they're more openly sexualized than females. I feel like some
Yeah,
females have like higher sex drives, but I feel like a lot of men just more open with it because of the stereotype that women, if we're too sexualized, we're considered hoes and we're considered, and you know what I'm saying? We have more labels that are being tied to being sexualized than males do. So yes, I believe that. You agree?
I don't totally agree. I mean, I kind of see what you're saying, like commercially, like more openly sexualized.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like females can be just as sexualized too.
They can, but maybe they're just not as open with it as guys are.
Okay, so what about all this, like this slut week? Like, what's up with that then?
The what?
You heard about the slut week?
No.
Like just being openly.
Maybe they do that because we can't be overly, quote unquote, overly sexualized, or we can't be open with our sexuality because we have labels that come on with it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Definitely labels come with it.
Yeah, so they make these. I've heard of a slut walk. They make these slut walks and slut
Oh yeah,
weeks.
that's what I'm talking about. Slut walk. That's a slut week.
Yeah, I feel like they have those so women can like empower each other to say like, I'm a sexual person. It's okay for me to be a sexual person. Which that I feel like it is okay for a woman to be a sexual person. It just all ties into still have morals for yourself, still have self-control, and still have like standards for yourself. So you're not just kind of out doing whatever with anybody. I personally wouldn't partake in that type of thing. That's not really my cup of tea, but hey, I don't judge. Y'all do what y'all do. I just feel like that's just one of those things of it's so intimate. So I don't want to be just so open with it, you know, like, I don't know. That's just my opinion on it personally.
No, yeah, I feel it. Because honestly, I don't really be judging females because it's like, how am I going to be mad if you're doing the same thing I do?
but that's you. You're one person. You're like, I feel like it's a small percentage of men who don't judge females compared to a lot of men who do judge females.
I mean, it just depends on what you're judging them for, though. Like, are you judging them for like a wife? Are you judging them to have sex with them? Are you judging them for to be a friend? Or like just like what's what you judging them for?
That's very much true. I just feel like you said, just let them do whatever. Number one, we're human. We are not perfect. So everybody's going to have their own perspective and they're going to move however they want to move. So it's like, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. You don't have to be in relations with them if you feel like that's a problem, but you also don't have to label them a certain way.
Yeah. I feel like if anything, the labels just gotta chill.
Yeah.
People gotta deal with the labels for sure.
Exactly. Whether you are a sexual person or you're not a sexual person, like people our age who are still virgins, kudos to you. That means that you don't have no soul ties with nobody. That means ain't nobody gave off their bad energies to you. Ain't nobody sat here and did you dirty and you gave it up and they did out here and left you high and dry. Like, kudos to you. You done saved yourself from a lot of headaches and heartaches, okay? So y'all, that is the end of this episode. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Like I said, we were transparent, we're open and honest. If y'all don't like something that we said, don't come for us, okay? We all got our own opinions about it, and it just is what it is. But thank you, Emdhi, for being on the show with me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
But all right, y'all, I'm going to check y'all out next week. Make sure y'all stay tuned. And I'm going to, Mike's information has always been in my description, his link tree. So make sure y'all go show him love. Go follow him on Instagram. Go follow me on my podcast page, Instagram. And just go show both of us some love. And I'm going to check y'all out next week. Bye, family.